Yo, what's up, everybody? Kicking it stateside. Your boys are back. Another jam-packed show. We got Prem's back. Let's go. We got Coupe de la Liga. Let's go. We got a lot. Like, subscribe, get back to it. We'll discuss. Hey, should Ronaldo get his ass out of Man U? Let's talk about it. Let's roll.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like forces gegen he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I tried the Chris Collinsworth slide-in right there. I don't know if it worked at all, but what's up, everybody?
No goal!
Oh, no goal.
No goal!
Starting off the show hot with some Spurs action, and any negative Spurs action is always good. It's a good start to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Kicking it stateside. Adam Modic, Brian Wheeler back again. A lovely, actually, for once, I usually say lovely no matter what, but a nice 50-degree day here in the Northeast in New Jersey and Philadelphia, respectively. We got some Prem back. The league is back finally after what felt like 2 weeks away from international break. I know those international breaks seem longer than it actually might be. Maybe because this time around, the USA, again, we'll talk briefly about that, but we don't want to harp on it too much and reflect on the past because it's all about looking forward with this US team. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about the Prem. We had some games yesterday. We had a good slate of games today and currently going on right now. Actually, Villa and Leeds are in a 6-goal thriller right now, 3-3. So keep it locked. We'll keep you updated on that live. Club World Cup action. For all my Chelsea fans out there, good win over Ighalo earlier today. Good to see Lukaku on the board. Also, we'll take a look at some of the League Cups around the world. We got the Copa Italia going down. We have the Spanish Copa del Rey. And also we have the Coupe de la France going on as well with Nice and Marseille. So a lot again to talk about.
Cups everywhere.
Cups everywhere. It's cup season, apparently. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you got to give a shout out. I know we've been harping on this and talking about this a lot the past couple shows, but congrats to Senegal on winning the African Cup of Nations. Well-deserved. Benjamin Mendy, Edouard Mendy, the Chelsea keeper, and of course, how could you not forget Sadio Mane, take home the trophy, beating his fellow Reds teammate Mo Salah in Egypt in the final earlier this week. I believe Sunday was the final. So congrats to Senegal. Obviously, our poll question today with Manchester United, what's going on? You know, ever since we feel like Sir Alex, ever since he's, left, they haven't been the same. They have not been the same. Cristiano Ronaldo comes back to where it all started years ago. And it's just, the results aren't there. They tie lowly Burnley.
I know how that feels.
Yeah. Swallow. And now we're going to start talking, and all these rumors are going to come about.
Yeah, he was head down walking off the pitch. He wasn't happy yesterday.
It was it's a tough scene. So now the big question is, will, Ronaldo, should he get out of United this summer? Agree or disagree? I sort of have the feeling that it would be a bad look if he did get out of it. After being like that guy that's going to come in and, save the day, return Manchester United to glory, and it's just kind of sputtered out. I don't know. What do you think, man?
Well, first of all, our poll question of the day is brought to you by Body Check Wellness. Talk about taking care of your body, and perfect guy for the poll question, a guy that takes unbelievably care of his body, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm sure if we can get the word out to him about Body Check, he would probably invest in it. Great company. Use promo code A2D. You get 25% off your orders with Body Check. All the powers of the hemp. So where do I stand on?
Yeah,
I think if I'm United, I'm in his ear and trying to do everything I can to keep him there. So if that means another coaching change, I don't know if this was even a full-time coaching change anyway. Like I don't know what their plans are, but they need to do something. I don't know if it's keeping also at the same time though, like is it keeping a 37, 38-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo happy? Or do they just say, "Hey, we thought we had the team to do this. Things were looking bright for a minute there. They were playing really good for a minute. When they added him, they were a top 4 side. They had some solid aspirations in Europe, and he's played okay, but the team just hasn't gelled. You see the same old problems. Pogba plays when he wants to play. You know, they still have issues with PKs, as we saw. You know, like
yeah.
it's just crazy. It's becoming one of those things where it's not who's even playing for the team anymore, but just like some kind of weird curse around the crest that things just can't seem to go right no matter which moves you make.
Yeah, just they tried to bring him in to maybe turn it around, and again, it just seems like the results have kind of stayed the same. Again, as far as that, they're just. If I'm a United fan, I'm a little frustrated because what were the steps to bring in this coach that they have now? Like, what are the qualifications? Granted, he came from Bayern Munich, but like he wasn't even like part of the coaching staff. Like he was an advisor, I believe, to the team. So who else was in that consideration to be the coach? Because
Right.
is he doing a better job, than Oli did? How can we, prove that would happen?
At this point, you could say no. I mean, he hasn't done anything better. He hasn't necessarily done anything worse. But you haven't seen any change. They underperform in moments. You know, they lost that game to Middlesbrough, end up going to PKs and losing that game. And now they're having, they have that moment just like Arsenal had when they drew Burnley, and you don't show up against, the bottom team in the league. Ronaldo doesn't get a start. He gets a little opportunity late in the game to do something, but he's frustrated. And the more he gets frustrated, and at this stage of his career, I think he's just going to, I don't think he's worried about tarnishing anything. It's not like he hasn't come and given his all when he steps on the pitch.
I was going to say, would it be a bad look if he just jumped ship after one season with the club?
I think if things aren't going the way that he would like them to go, it's probably not unrealistic for him to do. But
right.
I don't know if it's a bad look. It happens more and more now, and he could be like, "Hey, I gave you a good 6 months late in my career. Things didn't work out. The management didn't get it right, and the players around me didn't necessarily help." And I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems like it. Like you kind of said, there's been this dark cloud around United. And again, as a fan, I'm frustrated. You saw the terrible violence in the rallies that took place last year, outside Old Trafford. It's just a lot of frustration with the front office. And again, I would be too. Yeah, it's just, again, it's what is going to turn that around? Is it do you bring what's it gonna take? Like, you bring Sir Alex like out of the stands? Like, I don't understand. Like, unless it's the management, unless you just get rid of it all, somehow sell the team, but we know that's not going to happen. So it's an interesting thought that Cristiano Ronaldo, it's just like, okay, well, would it tarnish his legacy if he just left after a year? Would it be a bad look? Probably. He was there to just kind of lift this team up, and it hasn't happened. And again, that you brought up that loss to Middlesbrough, in the FA Cup. It's not good.
Yeah. When you bring him in, you kind of think you'll never lose a game like that. You figure at some point a guy like that's going to just find a way to put the ball in the net. But the opportunities are not there. The coaching doesn't seem to be there as well. And like I said, the supporting cast is just, it's weird. They don't seem to have any cohesion again.
Yeah.
You would have thought him and Bruno together would have been like the perfect, like Bruno took the league by storm when he came in, and then you thought adding those two together would have just been brutal, but just you're not getting the results.
No.
I mean, they're sitting in fifth place, but it's not a great fifth place. Their goal differential is actually worse than Arsenal's in sixth, and Arsenal's 2 games in hand on them now, so with only 3 points behind.
Yeah.
So it's not a.
United's played 23. Arsenal's only played 21.
Yeah, and Spurs have only played 20, and they also have 36 points, the same as Arsenal, and that was huge. That game just ended, by the way. As we came on, you heard me screaming, "No goal, no goal." Steve Bergwijn, what everybody thought, drew it up at the end. Did not happen. Goal was disallowed, and the Spurs dropped two leads in that game and lost a very, very important game. Could be a very important game to Southampton. So, thank you, Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Yeah, for real. It's one of those like, yeah, you're not. If you're United, it's like you're not sitting that badly though in the table to be like that. Like the sky's not falling, right? You're still sitting there pretty, but. I think, again, it's the problem like Chelsea has. You're dropping points against these teams that you should probably beat.
Yeah.
Like you're dropping points left and right. So
I mean, they still have Champions League games coming up. That's the other thing, too.
Right.
It's they got to take on Atletico coming up. Jakey, what's up? Jake is a United fan. He says as much as it pains him, he has to agree.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that whole team just needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah, and that kind of like, what Lord Walker said. It was, it was made during kind of the end of the Sir Alex era, and yeah, it's the board. Ed Woodward seems like a complete moron. And again, the frustration is there from the fans, obviously. And before it was like they're not getting the big time players. Jadon Sancho passed on them, and now they finally get their guy. They get Harry Maguire in. Some of these guys are like, okay, good signings.
Jadon Sancho plays there?
He does.
I didn't even notice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, no.
Dortmund to go to.
Little tongue in cheek, I guess. It
was gonna be that move, Yeah,
like he made the move, but like, where's he been? He has not done anything, and that's what worries me. Like when all these talks now that Serge Gnabry's not happy with his contract at Bayern and should make this grand comeback to Arsenal, and I'm like, people are going to have such high expectations, and as the moment he doesn't step on the pitch and get to games where he's scoring braces like he's doing against low-level Bundesliga teams, people are going to start screaming their heads off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, it would be good. It would be great to see Serge go back to a team that he was kind of cast off from, Arsenal back in the day.
I would love him. I would love for it to happen. I'm afraid because of the way things have been lately, and the way the fan bases have been lately, like doing stuff like that, when it doesn't work out, can be not so good.
I think it'd be funny as hell because then he could stick it to Tony Pulis when Serge was on loan at West Brom when Tony Pulis was there, said that he'd never make it, and ever be, Premier League player ever. So
yeah. I mean,
he's gone on and had a pretty good career so far.
He's been solid at Bayern. You can't say anything. Been very happy to have him at Bayern.
Why you got to say luck? Don't hate.
Yeah,
don't be mad. We're getting trophies, bro.
Yeah, he's such a they're in such hater mode right now.
They're in some trouble.
They're in such hater mode right now.
How could you not? We'll see you at the end of the month.
I know.
I'm sure we'll have him on again.
Yes. You got that'll be fun having you two go at it this time, and I'll get to sit back and relax.
I know. I just let the results speak, even though the league results aren't there where we want. That's okay.
Yeah, but you and them aren't too far off.
Nah.
You're not too far off. You're only a point behind. I mean, you have played 2 more games.
It's okay. But yeah.
Yeah, Dan. We all know that, Dan.
Duh.
Yeah.
I could like his favorite team, and he would probably jump ship.
Yeah, you should actually. That would be like that would really stick it to him.
I need an Israeli team, Dan. So
yeah, just start.
Team available.
Just start rooting for things that he roots for.
I love the white caps. Just kidding. Not even close. But yeah, a lot to get into today. Yeah. Obviously, we got other scores from today. Still 3-3 in the 90th minute here, 92nd minute in the Villa Leeds game. Another Coutinho goal. Good to see him coming in the league and kind of saying, you know what, I still got a little something in the tank. I can still ball out there. I'm going to hopefully help this Villa team get to where they're be. But, giving up 3 goals, you got good old Dan James, the Man United cast off with a brace for Leeds. And Jacob Ramsey, the youngster, has a brace for Villa.
Yeah, we thought that Dan James move might be good for him at Leeds. And
yeah, I think he needed it to get away from that situation. Yeah. And to make room for Sancho, I guess, was that.
Yeah. Well, and for Villa's just trying to hold on to this one, I guess, at home here. They did get a red card from Ezri Konsa in the 87th minute, so we're right down to the wire here. That one's almost over. City did have a City type win, I guess you could say. 2-0 over Brentford. Kind of probably did what City does and took them a little light at home. Didn't necessarily try to step on the gas or anything, but Riyad Mahrez gets a penalty in the 40th minute and
seemed comfortable.
Yeah, and De Bruyne adds 1.
Yeah, I mean, that Brentford side, it's just, I don't want to see anything bad. I don't want to see him go down,
Yeah, nah, I don't think they're in danger of that. There's too much other shit at the bottom of the table.
I mean, Burnley's pretty bad. Watford's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Newcastle, I mean, to kind of segue into that, yesterday Newcastle got a good win.
Yeah, Newcastle
picked them off the bottom there. So
yeah, well, Everton was the victim of that win, and that puts Newcastle within 1 point of Everton for 16th place. Norwich got a draw today against Palace, so they picked up a point. But your bottom 3 right now with Burnley, Watford, and Norwich, they seem to be setting themselves apart from everybody else in the typical negative way from the bottom. I think, like you said, Newcastle, the new look. Kieran Trippier has a goal yesterday. Bruno Guimaraes gets in late, makes his debut, but didn't really do much. But I'm sure he'll be starting the next game. Make a full starting debut. Everton looks terrible. They're going to be in some trouble.
After I thought maybe the magic of the cup, Frankie gets a nice win in the FA Cup. It's like, yeah, here we go, and then
right back to
same thing.
Same old thing. And I mean, they get handled pretty well by Newcastle there. And I mean, his press conference, he basically said you kind of expected it. I get it. He just got in the door. Things just changed. He just, again, we talked about it. He's got 7 new midfielders, and he's got to figure out what he's doing and all that. But
it's true.
I mean, you don't. The problem is you don't necessarily have a ton of time, and they're not gonna love excuses. I still think Everton should have held off and just let Dunk be caretaker again at this point. And
you think they would learn though to just let him have a full, or at least now until the end of the season, to prove himself?
Here's the problem: if you're Frank Lampard, if you don't get this thing turned around and this team just dips and you get Everton relegated, like, you're never going to get a coaching job again. Like, this will be it.
No.
Like, this is like that'll be it.
I hate to say it.
That's a lot of risk went into this. I would not have taken this job, and I think Wayne Rooney was super smart when he came out and said he knew he wasn't ready for like big time football yet. He's like, Derby's cool. I'll stick with it.
You don't want to step into that shit that's Everton, I'm not sure anybody could fix that right now. And they try, bringing in Dele and Donny van de Beek, to give a little,
They didn't even start him, though.
But
I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it's hard when you first bring a guy in to start him, but neither one of them started. You figure you would have saw one of them in there.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't know. It's a curious situation. And even, like, their goal was an own goal.
Yeah.
So,
this Villa game just doesn't seem to want to end. They're in the 97th minute right now. It looks like it's still rolling on, so we'll see if anything happens, but I think it's still going. We talked about the Norwich Palace 1-1 draw. Timo Pukki scores in the first minute. Then it takes Zaha till the 60th to score. And then again in the 63rd, he gets an opportunity right after that to get a pen, and he missed the pen, and it ends in a 1-1 draw. So just typical of both those teams.
That was very fitting for Norwich. The only thing that is going to hurt Norwich in the end is that goal differential at, negative 36 right now.
Yeah, it's a killer, man. It's a killer. We all, well, not we all, but you and I kind of would at least give a little rooting for the Canaries, especially with Josh Sargent joining them. And
yeah,
I'm sure there's some teams that we would prefer to see get relegated over the Canaries.
Yeah, I didn't see. Didn't look like Joshy was even on the bench for Norwich.
He might not have been.
They started Pukki and Adam Ida.
Yeah.
Up top.
Well, and your boy Cantwell's gone like overnight, heads on to Bournemouth.
Who knew?
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm watching the game and I hear Cantwell and I look and I'm like, that's got to be a different Cantwell. And nope, sure enough.
How? Why?
Yeah,
why would they make that move? Or why would he make that negative?
I guess in the Bournemouth is on their way into the league, possibly. They're in good shape, where Norwich is kind of on their way out of the league. Between those two things and maybe just overall playing time, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I could kind of see there would be a reason for.
Well, you get Bournemouth. They're doing great in the championship, but weren't they the ones that lost to Boreham Wood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Boreham Wood, finally, one of those. We saw a lot of near upsets in the FA Cup and the magic of the cup, and Boreham Wood was the fifth tier side. So I think they called the Atlantic Division, I believe.
Yeah, non-league football down there.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of interesting ones. I know it makes people's heads spin with how many cups in tournaments are in like England, especially, but yeah, the FA Cup had almost a couple of big upsets. You know, West Ham getting taken to extra time. Chelsea getting taken to extra time by fucking Plymouth Argyle.
I was gonna say, I think the nice thing from the outsiders looking in, like I spent my entire day, I was pumped up. I was a Kidderminster guy all day. I was really hoping to sit there and see that, and then it looked like it was gonna happen. And then in sure fashion,
Kidderminster, that's a heartbreaker.
And this has happened to them one other time where the closest they ever had gotten, and they were in the same position basically, but it was at the time when they did a replay. So they got leveled up late and then had to do a replay and then lost the replay. And so yeah, with COVID, they eliminated the replays for this tournament.
Yeah, that's brutal the way that they lost, but that's a reason why Declan Rice is welcome on Chelsea. Anytime he wants to come back, he is welcome.
Yeah.
That run he made for that tying goal.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let that team knock him out and be like the laughing
and he hits
stock.
The MJ for the celebration.
Yeah, that was a really nice goal.
But yeah, that's the magic of the cup lives on. Of course, Boreham Wood getting a good win over the Cherries. There was a draw for that. I think Chelsea got Luton Town, or is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
I know you definitely got Luton Town. I have. Yeah, let me I'll pull the draw up.
Luton Town.
Luton Town. Where is
Leagues and Cups and Leagues and Cups and Leagues and Cups.
Schedule.
The schedule?
Yeah, what's up, Tim? What's going on, man?
Come on, you Gunners.
Why doesn't it?
Oh, Dan also said it's the Tel Aviv derby on Saturday. Maccabi versus Hapoel.
Nice. Oh, I hate
Maccabi for sure.
Anyway, I'll find it. I had it somewhere. This is like the outdated. It like doesn't have the updated games. But and speaking of FA Cup, the I got a lot of things said about us as Arsenal fans. Tim will agree, I'm sure, after that loss to Nottingham Forest. But I mean, come on, Nottingham Forest at home again. They another home game. And they get a 4-1 win against Leicester, so kind of eases the pain a little bit. Yeah, Forest is looking really good ever since Adam gave his apology to the club and their fans.
That one Leicester fan came on the pitch and started punching the Nottingham Forest players after they scored, I think, the third or fourth goal. Did you see that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, what the heck? Can you imagine if that happened in like the NFL? Like some guy came and started punching like Joe Burrow or something during the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know if you saw. I think it was the Bills Chiefs game. Somebody came on and Stephon Diggs just leveled the dude.
Yeah,
I've seen it in a few sports, especially football. You got to be an idiot to run on the field. Those guys are in full pads too, and they're like their job is to hit you.
Right.
Like if those guys get you, you're.
Oh, I have the FA Cup draw.
Okay.
March 2nd, right. Wednesday, March 2nd is when the next fixtures are. Palace versus Stoke City. Nice. Everton, the Toffees play good old Boreham Wood. Liverpool,
let's go Boreham Wood.
The Mighty Reds get the Canaries of Norwich City. Luton Town, sorry. Gets a home game against Chelsea. You got Middlesbrough hosting Spurs. You got Nottingham Forest hosting Huddersfield. That's a good matchup of championship sides.
Yeah.
Good old American Dwayne Holmes is on fire for Huddersfield. I saw he scored in back-to-back games. That's nice to see.
Yeah, just another one that, name we never even talk about.
He never gets talked about. Ever. Never. Petersborough hosts Man City. And then Southampton gets a home game at the St. Mary's against West Ham. Hey, the Forest could be on their way to the freaking quarters with that draw.
Yeah, that's a nice draw for Forest grabbing Huddersfield. So hopefully they're on the road at Huddersfield. They gotta be. They've just had 2 home games. I don't think they'd have a third one.
The Forest for the FA Cup is a home game against Huddersfield.
Oh wow! So they
Yeah.
have 3 straight home games.
At the
It's
City
nice.
Ground in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Great.
Tim said 2-1 Arsenal tomorrow. Hey, I would at this point I would definitely take 2-1 Arsenal.
Respect from Huddersfield. Yes.
Hey, Jamie's back again. Hey,
Nice,
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, Huddersfield I think's been doing pretty well. I mean, I saw Dwayne Holmes is doing well, and we always like it when Americans can prove their worth on some teams, especially in the Championship or Prem.
Yeah.
Yes, Danny, I did see that. The Copa Libertadores started yesterday, the qualification. I saw you got Barcelona like B team in there.
Yeah, there's so many things. We try to cover everything. I try to add everything that we can.
It's so hard.
And look at everything.
Every country has so many different tournaments and cups. That's why some people that probably listen that are just like their head starts to spin when we start talking about the League Cup, FA Cup.
Yeah, we were just talking about Huddersfield. They actually played today in the Championship, and they drew Preston North End 0-0 in Preston. So yeah, it's like you could just go down the list almost every day, any time of the day. And the beautiful thing is with all the streaming and stuff, if you are a fan of the game, you can find something to watch pretty much from like 4:30 a.m. till about 10, 11 p.m. at night. So, Copa del Rey, if anybody was interested, that's what I was streaming right now. Real Betis did knock out Rayo Vallecano.
Vallecano, I guess.
William Carvalho with the game winner in the 68th minute.
You always forget about him.
That actually that goal happened right as we were basically coming live on air, as well. So, yeah, it's I
guess that's a 2-leg thing because I see it's first leg.
Yeah, that's a 2-leg. So they took the first leg, but they took it on the road. I don't know if road goals are a factor in this tournament because it's changed in some leagues and some leagues have not. Some tournaments have not.
That's a pretty good team.
Which one? Real Betis?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good team.
Christian Teo, you got Hector Bellerin, William Carvalho, Nabil Fekir. I forgot he went there. Mark
Bartra.
The old Dortmund lad.
Yeah, man.
Solid, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, they're a solid club.
Rayo Vallecano.
Was Oshman a target? I don't know. Can we get something out of the air since we're talking about Premier League anyway? Not to I never want to make this like such an Arsenal show, an Arsenal thing, but just anybody, and I'm going to watch Lord Walker pop up here probably. I hope this is the direction it's supposed to be going, and there's a lot of talk about why a striker wasn't signed in this window. And it sounds like Martinelli might be getting the number 14 and might be moving up and giving that opportunity. And Pepe, being in really good form for Ivory Coast through AFCON, might get an opportunity to step up, just like I've said before. The guy can do it. He's done it in the past for when he played for Lille. So this might have been really smart. They might have done what I've been asking to do again and keep telling people to be patient and use what you have in-house and not worry about that big splash that just doesn't fit what you got. You got to keep Martinelli happy. Get him in there, get him some caps. Let him shine in that striker spot. Give him chances. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But except Pepe, Pepe's just the whole thing. Pepe should have been starting for a long time. But when you pay Aubameyang what you were paying Aubameyang, then, sometimes you're handcuffed. But it looks like things are moving in the right direction. So just be patient. Again, I remind everybody how long it takes some of these guys. It's not instant success. So
some take longer to get acclimated.
Yeah. And that's all I'm going to really say about that in this show, because we have a game tomorrow, and I don't want to overhype my team, because it seems like every time I do that, they don't show up. And every time I start to get a little discouraged and underestimate them, they come out and they show me that I shouldn't do that. So,
I mean, it's a tough one. Wolves on the road.
Yeah, it's not an easy game, man. But
good defensively from Wolves, so I expect a low-scoring game, maybe 1-1, 1-0.
Yeah, this has draw written all over it. You know how I feel about that, although not so much as recently. But so thoughts on Traore and Pereira being teammates now. I think it's kind of neat. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I'm not a bad blood towards Aubameyang guy. Everybody's spoken their piece on this. Arteta again today finally spoke, I think, his final piece on this. Dan hates the Prem, so that's fine. Bye, Dan. But he came in, he did his thing, and we all know he was lazy, and he's out, and he moved on. And good luck, good luck at Barca.
Yeah.
I put it this way: Barca needs it, because Barca still has a lot of issues going on, and they were lucky that these teams kind of gave them a few gifts and players, and that they might actually get a little talent, and they might get a little push, because Aubameyang's track record. He's going to come in there, and he's going to get an opportunity, and he'll work hard for a little bit.
Sure.
Until he gets a contract.
Last week, how he's done this before, where he's kind of forced his move out of different clubs, being what he did at Dortmund, and now what he's done at Arsenal, and kind of blames everybody else but himself. So he will care. I'm sure he'll score his goals. I don't know, Traore. He had that one great year that he was fantastic, and then he hasn't even been starting for Wolves at all this year.
Yeah, he was getting some later because they wanted to move him in the transfer window. I think they were trying to showcase him a little bit, but he looked disconnected from the team, and it was time for him to move on. But he started the game at Barca, and then Oba went in for him as a sub. I guess Traore had a decent impact in the game. Oba didn't, but they did end up winning 4-2 against Atletico, so that was nice. Tim, Shaq going to Chicago. That is official. He signs as a DP through Chicago through 2024. So we'll see. I think he's the kind of a guy. His game will translate to MLS well. I think he's tough nosed. He'll get in there. He'll grind out some goals. He'll definitely.
He'll do his thing, but he's not going to bring Chicago, a MLS Cup anytime.
No, not at all. But I think
nice money grabber for getting some butts in seats. I heard that. I was wondering why he chose that, whether it was a Swiss contingency in Chicago or what the case was. But I guess somebody that's part of the Chicago front office used to work at Basel when either when Shaq was there or just has ties to that. So I guess that was the big reason.
I just say I don't know, man. People can say what they want. There's so many mixed feelings on it, but to me these things are great. When you see a guy like that was just part of that Liverpool club. Not an integral part, but he played a nice role when they went on that little run to win the Champions League and Premier League in the same season. And he got in there. He played some valuable minutes. He scored some big goals for them at times. So not far removed from that for him to be coming over to an MLS club and helping some of these young guys grow too. I think that's a big part of it as well, getting these guys into these organizations, because it could have long-term effects as well. once they retire, they might find that they, enjoy certain things about and stay with these clubs and help out. So
yeah,
I don't, it's never a bad move. I don't think
it's good for the league. I mean, you're getting these bigger, big name guys in, he's still got a lot in the tank, I'm sure,
It's only a bad move when they come here and they don't show out and it looks like a pure money grab. That's the only time.
Right. I don't think that'll be an issue. I think he's too good to, not produce.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that kind of personality. So,
but
any news on Aronson to Leeds? I know it gets
cooled off, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think everything's going to cool off now, like it usually does, for a little bit. And then it'll start ramping
up in the summertime. I think.
Oh yeah, springtime it'll start getting super nutty.
Yeah, I know the original bid was like Leeds had 15, and Salzburg was like, hell no, we need a little bit more than that. And then I think they came back with 20, and then it kind of stalled. I don't know. I don't know if you would make that move if you're Aronson in the middle of the season when Salzburg is still in Champions League currently. So
yeah,
let the guy play out the season. I'm sure he'll be moved this summer. I don't know if a Leeds move would be good for him. I don't know how him and Bielsa would be working out. So that's something to keep an eye on, though.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, Red Bull might want to try to get him over to Leipzig and playing with Adams as well.
Right.
So they have some control in that. Not that they have full control in that, but they definitely have a little leg up in the control of things like that. So that could be possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think the value it's smart for him to just stay because I think his value is just going to increase as this season plays out. Especially if he does well in Champions League, where you see him, you're like, okay, well, we can rely on him playing in these matches like of that magnitude. So I don't think it hurts either side to hold on to him, and doesn't hurt him from a developmental standpoint,
Pove, what's up, buddy? How are you, man?
What's up, Pove? Good to see you, brother. You can catch Pove and the Hockey Happy Hour guys.
They were on last night, and I have to say that it's been great every time that Hockey Happy Hour has been on simultaneously as a Penguins game. The Penguins just seem to win and dominate. So it's been really nice watching them while watching the Pens.
Hell yeah!
So
Aronson to AC Milan, that'd be interesting.
So now I'm seeing that a couple things recently too. I know we touched on like all the big transfer moves late last week. There were a couple since then because even though the deadline is over, you can still make moves based off of inside of leagues and things along those lines.
Right.
Loans. Red Bull Leipzig did loan Caden Clark back to New York Red Bull.
Okay.
So that's good for the upcoming season starting. I believe next week. Yeah, next week we will be having our MLS preview show. So anybody who is MLS fans, come kick it with us. Adam will be giving you a little insight on the Union. I'll give you a little insight on the Red Bull, and then just a general overview of the league coming up, the season coming up here, and any day now. So.
Yeah, I was going to say we got, I think the 27th is 26th.
Yeah, 26 is opening.
Is somehow already here.
Yeah, the 26th of February, we're opening up soccer.
Usually it was, we're doing a little bit. I'll take maybe like a nice first March and, Saturday in March, freeze your ass off numerous times, those season openers, but
it just feels different because when it says March in front of it instead of February. But.
Yeah, and also the Union went pretty deep into the playoffs, so yeah.
Look at that,
Tim. We're doing it, baby.
So I got a little Arsenal love from Tim, and you get a little Union love from Tim. Look at that.
I knew I liked Tim.
Most likely, yes.
I'll save all my takes on that for when we do the preview show of the MLS. But
one last transfer that I had to talk about too before we get off any kind of transfers. Bayern Munich donate back Nicolas Sula to Dortmund.
God, I meant to text you about that.
So here's another aging German defender that you can have back at the end of his career.
We don't need that.
I don't need
slow German defenders. It's not working now. What makes you think it's going to work with Nicolas Sula?
I was dying when I saw that. I was like, I don't know why I didn't text you. I was like, I'll just talk about it on the show. So
unreal after they just got their asses kicked the other day.
Oh my God, that kid is so bad. I know he was coming back from injury and all that, but Zagadou, man, he just
Danny, yeah.
He had a really poor game. He had one of those games where you got to like crumple up and throw away and never like try to remember that you ever played that game.
Pull a Dan Campbell and just bury the physical tape.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Terrible. I mean, did we talk about the DeAndre Yedlin to Miami? I think we did.
Yeah, we talked about that briefly
on that day.
That was happening. Yeah, they did. It happened right as we were on. I don't even want to like. Sebastian Berhalter went from the Crew to the Whitecap, so Dan, of all people, should be super happy that he like. I feel like Dan's would be a Berhalter guy, so like that's perfect that Berhalter is now on the Whitecaps.
Good.
Yeah, I think Danny left, but that's great.
He did.
Yeah, he says that sometimes, but then he pops back up. So
you just mention his name and he just like reappears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, it's, again, we try and cover as much as we can with like, the popular big leagues around the world. And, the Israeli league just sometimes doesn't, make the cut or, makes people get their asses in seats. So, but
I love the just random pop-ups and
I think Lord Walker likes to just poke you so badly.
It's funny because he acts like he's in the clubhouse and you hear the rumors around, but Martinelli will be a huge fan of Arteta once he can get up top and play the striker position and is handed the number 14, that coveted number 14 that he's always wanted to wear for Arsenal. So things can change overnight when you get one cancer out the door. I can tell you that. And again, remember how long it took Klopp to get things going at Liverpool. So
didn't they have a deal?
They didn't win overnight. If you remember, what year did he get there? So,
didn't they have a deal on the table for Nketiah to leave, and they said no?
Yeah, I don't even know. Laka's going to be out. I'm not worried about Laka. Laka can't score. Laka's done. Laka can talk all he wants about being out. I'm okay with that. I told you I want the young guys. Laka's at times over.
Hey, you called it from the beginning. Just get a little youth in the team, and that seemed to kind of spark.
Yeah, like he sits there and talks like we're still sitting in the bottom of the table like 11 weeks ago or 12 weeks ago. Like we are competing for that fourth place spot legitimately. So I
for that number one spot
until we just continue. If we go on a landslide drop, then it is what it is. But I don't see that happening. That's what I keep saying, Tim, all the time. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, get ready. That money's coming.
Better hope so. Better hope Stan's coming.
Yep.
Backing up the Brinks truck.
We root for the Nuggets. We root for the Avalanche. we root for the Rapids.
Yeah, Cronky to Cronky crime.
Any of that money, that we can get is good. Deal. We root for Walmart stock to go up. Anything to put more money into that pot.
I think Kroenke is just like, I'm going to loan Austin from one of my teams to another team. How about that?
Yeah.
Saving me some money.
Here's the thing. The one thing I do like about
He's
it.
never going to play first team minutes, is he? For Arsenal?
Probably not. What happens is he gets the Arsenal
deal.
He gets the Arsenal badge, he gets the hype, and then he gets loaned out, and he gets some time of and then they can
grabber, isn't it?
Yeah, and the fact that an American owner is bringing in American players. Now the Matt Turner deal, I think is going to play. Matt Turner is going to get some time. I think it's Aaron Ramsdale and Matt Turner going to be going forward. I think Bernd Leno is gone come next window. Because Turner's going to be with Dallas till the summer.
I'll take Burn at Dortmund, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you want another aging German, but you could definitely use them both. Oh, absolutely.
Cobell.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal and Dortmund do have somewhat of a relationship, so maybe that would be a call that they should be making.
A little bit.
To unload Burn. But yeah, I think the Turner deal was nice. I don't know about the other deal. We'll see. You never know. Hey, kid gets an opportunity, and
I mean, I haven't watched many Rapids games, and I haven't seen him play since his days at the Union. But from what I heard, his attitude was pretty piss poor, which made it a lot easier for him to be sold.
At this point, with our help, with all the help we need in the midfield, we should have brought Kellen Acosta over to Arsenal before he went to LA.
Let's not do this. You can't even say that with a straight face.
He's my guy, man. Come on, I love Kellen Acosta.
He played well. He played well. I mean, while we're on that subject, we can touch that. That topic briefly. Obviously, since the last time we spoke, little U.S. men's national team action. I know we spoke about that the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, that was game day. So
yes, it was game day. So
last week. It's only been a week.
Yeah,
holy, that was
last Wednesday, right?
Yeah. That was a long week, man. Mm-hmm. That was a long week.
Telling me.
Yeah. So yeah, US 3-0. That's what we said we needed, right? That's what we should have done.
You came to be like, all right, you need a 3-0. You need a big performance. Out of the boys in frigid temperatures out there in St. Paul, Minnesota. I think everybody on that pitch that night was like, if I have to play in that again, I'm just count me out. I'm not doing that. Matt Turner had to go to the sidelines and, put a freaking blanket over him. Yeah,
man, it was crazy. But
I mean, it's this is why Weston McKennie is, I think, the best player on the U.S. men's national team currently. The guy's just proven it. I'm glad he's bounced back because we were calling when he had whenever that issue was when he got sent home for whatever reason. We're still not even sure. From camp that won, what was that, last year? Was that September? Window?
That was like right after that first
game.
I think it was after the Nat. Yeah, it was because it was in Nashville. That's when it happened. It happened in Nashville.
Right. So it's like the speculation around that. Like, what's the real story? We heard the mask thing. We heard he brought Pulisic's sister back to the hotel. Like some crazy shit. But the fact that he's bounced back and just maturing like we hoped, and his performance on the pitch has definitely just exceeded expectation. He's scoring goals for Juve. He's scoring goals and being a true leader with, Tyler Adams out last game. Somebody had to step up and be that leader, and he definitely was. He set the tempo, got the game rolling with that beautiful header goal, and really just propelled them to, dominating again, a Honduras team that really needed to do. So
his game and Luka's game, man. Luka was on fire.
Yeah,
he was getting a lot of criticism early. I think he was nervous early in the game. He was a little tight. But about 20, 30 minutes in, he settled in, man, and he was one of the best players on the pitch that day, which is nice. The problem is now it just continues to make things probably a bigger issue for Greg and having him rein in on bringing in a roster. And I caught some heat. I had a lot of people agree with me. I think a lot of people misunderstood what I was saying this week. But I caught some heat when I made a post on our Facebook and sent it out on a couple of the things about, this window coming up in March. We have to bring our World Cup team. And when I say that, I don't mean that we have to establish who's going to be our World Cup team when we go to Qatar in November. But what I mean is, we have to treat these 3 games as if this is
like a 3-game play-in.
This is group stage. This is group stage of the World Cup to get into the next group stage of the World Cup. Like, you have to play these games as if this is our World Cup. And you have to bring the best roster. Like, you can't bring Zardes. As well as Morris played, and I'm glad to see him back from injury, you can't bring Morris. Like, you can't bring... I don't even know. Like, McKenzie keeps getting brought, but he doesn't even get to play.
Right. I mean, do you bring John Brooks back for the last...
I don't at this point. I mean, I don't know. Do you bring Carter Vickers in? Does he ever get his opportunity? Or is it like bringing him in for this last window, like too much pressure for him to finally get a chance?
People on Twitter saying they should bring in CCV and a couple other guys that haven't even sniffed the team. I think the whole window, like barely. I don't even know if they've got senior caps, but like, why mess up the dynamic of, bringing these guys in? And again, like you said, these are World Cup treated games because you're literally playing Mexico, which is going to be in the World Cup, at the Azteca. You're playing Panama, who's right on your heels. And if you lose that game, you're in some deep trouble. And you're also going on the road to Costa Rica, where we have not had success at all.
We've never won.
Right. And they're fighting for that 4th spot, that playoff to go to the Oceanic playoff game. So it's like, this is the time we've said it before, but this is the nut up or shut up time for the U.S. soccer. Like, straight up. Like, you have to bring your A game and you have to bring your best team. There's no more tinkering of roster. There's no more tinkering of lineups. You simply play the best players. They're going to have to get used to playing every 4 days in the World Cup or 5 days, whatever it is. You just got to roll it out there, not worry about who's going to be tired, who's not, whatever. This is it. Like,
come March, you're only 8 months away.
Just like everything that was said when we didn't qualify for 2018, you have to rectify all that by you got to bring it this window. And I know we'll talk about it once that comes in late March, but it's something that I think everybody, again, but we're kind of nervous going into this window, like we didn't want to be, because we left too many points out there.
Way too many points out there.
So now we're going to be, sitting there on March 24th, when we play Mexico at the Azteca, saying we need at least a point, and then you must beat Panama.
Yeah, at home we have to. You have to.
March 27th in Orlando is going to be one of the bigger U.S. men's national team games in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, unless you go to the Azteca and you win.
If you win that, okay.
I mean, if you just show up at the Azteca and you win and you blow everybody's mind,
because then Mexico's like, they might cause like a war amongst the country, like in the country, because they're like, the U.S. just beat us like 4 times in a row. Are you serious? Like, they'll be livid because they're like, how are we losing to the U.S. after dominating them for so long?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting it, but that would be a nice result to get that, and then not have to worry about necessarily even. All we need is, I think, 4. We got to get 4 points, right? It's pretty much 4 points locks it up. depending on. But I don't know. We shouldn't be in this position anyway. So
I know. I just don't want to sit there on March 30th at Costa Rica again with our World Cup lives on the line.
Yeah,
like last time.
I feel you. It's not going to be a comfortable feeling, and teams like that are gonna, if they know that they've just like drawing or beating us, it knocks us out of the World Cup. Like they're gonna play super hungry to do so because that puts them on the national, like the world stage. If they're the team that keeps us away, everybody knows Trinidad Tobago soccer because they were the team that kept US from getting into the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
that was their claim to fame now.
Yes.
That they prevented us from going to the 2018 World Cup.
So tomorrow we talked about Wolves Arsenal already. We also have Liverpool Leicester tomorrow at Anfield. Also at 2:45. So all the Liverpool fans will be tuning in. This is a big game for them, being that right now City winning today puts them 12 points clear. Liverpool definitely wants to keep that as close as possible and pick up 3 again tomorrow and get it back down to that 9 and keep that window of opportunity open for Liverpool and for Chelsea both to get a chance to push City for a late title run, but we'll see.
I was going to say, I mean, it's going to take a City collapse to really have anybody catch them at this point.
We've seen it though. I mean, you see it all the time. You've seen these. There's still double-digit games left. When there's double-digit games left, there's always a possibility.
It's a slight one. It's not. It's City has beaten teams that they should be, unlike most other. This is why they've distanced themselves, because they don't drop points usually.
Yeah, they generally don't drop points to bad teams. You are correct. Unlike some of us.
Hey, I'll be the first to.
Yeah, I wasn't even taking a shot at you guys, but yeah, you've been dropping a lot of points to bad teams as well. So
a season of dropped points, and I'm okay. I'm okay with not winning the league. I'm okay. You still got Champions League right around the corner. Obviously that Club World Cup. It's got League Cup final against Liverpool at the end of the month.
Yeah. Did we even discuss the Club World Cup? I think we did very briefly in the beginning of the show, but we didn't actually necessarily get into it. I didn't think.
Yeah, I mentioned that Chelsea just won in the semis of the Club World Cup against Ighalo.
Yes, so
Lukaku goal.
And I was surprised when I was researching this game to see a couple names in that Ighalo lineup. Some very familiar names in Ighalo and
how about that?
Matheus Pereira as well. So solid. They gave Chelsea a fight, man, in that game. Something intriguing that I did see on social media about that game. I did not get an opportunity to watch it. It was 11 a.m. this morning, and I did not get a chance. But apparently, I guess because of where it was played too, there was like no women in the stands, or very, very, very limited amount in the stands. It was kind of interesting.
Was that in Dubai?
I
didn't see where it was being played.
I'm trying to see it was in Dubai. Yep, at the Mohammed bin Zayed Stadium. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's another trophy on the line against, what do we say, the Brazilian team?
Yeah, Palmeiras.
So, I mean, again, it's one of those. It's like, okay, I mean, it's like, well, you win a Super Cup, You win Champions League. Now you're going for it all. You're going for Club World Cup.
Club World Cup's pretty prestigious, man. People might want to downplay it or whatever, but it's never easy. Like, you don't every year. It's not always the Premier League winner or like Real or teams like that you're hearing win the Club World Cup, and they are in these games, and maybe they don't always take it as seriously with the schedules, and they try to play a rotated squad earlier in the tournament, and they get knocked out. But you're in a final, man, and now you're going to play your starting roster. I'm sure you're going to go for a win. I mean, Lukaku was in this game today.
It looked pretty good and pretty full strength roster than starting 11 that I'm seeing.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's money too. That's the other thing. It's money. People don't realize sometimes how much money it really is at play when you advance. Like we talked about Kidderminster earlier in FA Cup, just getting that game on TV paid them $125,000. So their run, even though that they lost, their run till the fourth round of the FA Cup paid them half of what they would normally gross in an entire season.
It's huge.
So yeah,
that's why it means so much to these like smaller clubs.
Yeah,
just one game like that. That's why when I brought up that game that Spurs played against that team during the pandemic, that game alone would have covered like all their expenses for that whole season. So everybody, around the world just started chipping in and buying like they had like $10 tickets that they would donate to the club because obviously they were playing behind closed doors. So it's a big deal for these teams. That's why the magic of the Cup is always something cool that if you're not familiar with the FA Cup, look it up. It's pretty neat throughout the years. And we've seen it. Like we mentioned, Bournemouth beating Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Also, that was funny Chelsea news that you see Hakim Ziyech retired from international football because he cried because he didn't get into the African Cup of Nations roster for Morocco.
Yeah, he was upset and I guess walked away from the Morocco team. So
pulling a Carlos Vela.
Yeah. That's I mean, I am kind of surprised that he didn't get into the roster, but there's got to be a reason.
Surprised, but again, I don't know. Usually it'd be like, okay, maybe he's not playing, his form's out, that's why we're not calling him. But I mean, how many midfielders or wingers on the Morocco team,
are better than him? Yeah. Yeah. Him and Hakimi together, like, that should be deadly.
Yeah.
They might have had an opportunity. And they went pretty far without him. I feel like they would have had an opportunity. Maybe they might have left something on the table by not bringing him as well. So
it could have been one of those stubborn standoffs with like, all right, well.
Maybe they hate Chelsea. Maybe they hate Abramovich.
He wouldn't be the only one. Ask Lord Walker.
Yeah. What else happened today? There was Copa Italia action today. Milan ran roughshod on Lazio 4-0. Your boy and my boy Olivier Giroud with the brace, 41st and 45th minute, and then Frank Kessie finished it off.
Frank Kessie.
Yeah, so Lazio moves on. Milan moves on out of the quarterfinals.
Olivier having a little resurgence after his move away from Chelsea.
Yeah, well, he had a little resurgence from his move away from Arsenal with Chelsea, and then it was like he cooled off there. And there's guys, it just happens that way, man. They go somewhere new, they get all pumped up, they get this like new outlook on life, and they feel good, and maybe they get a new girlfriend, or they start eating different, and they come out and they play, and then like life kind of levels out for them again, and they're like they lose that. Some guys just need that new challenge all the time.
Don't blame them.
Yeah. There's more Coppa Italia tomorrow, too. Atlantia and Fiorentino, Juventus and Sassuolo.
Juventus.
Yeah, so Weston McKennie, I'm sure will be playing tomorrow for all the U.S. fans. They play at 3 o'clock. If you want to try to find that game, no idea where that'll be on because I know ESPN has the Copa del Rey tomorrow.
Do they play the Italian Cup matches on ESPN Plus?
It doesn't know. It doesn't. ESPN is quick to tell you if it's on ESPN Plus, and the only game on ESPN Plus tomorrow apparently is the Athletic Club Valencia Copa del Rey game. So I don't know where these other games would be played, but I'm sure you could find it broadcast in Espanol somewhere.
Espanol.
Especially Juventus at 3 o'clock. Go to your local pizza place.
They'll have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's two local pizzerias by me that are heavy on Italian league soccer.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's French Cup too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We didn't. I put the French Cup in there just hopefully to get some viewers. But yeah, yeah. Who played today? I don't think they have. Oh, actually, there is a game tomorrow as well.
It was Nice and Marseille earlier.
Oh yeah, Nice killed Marseille too, 4-1.
Justin Kluivert with the brace.
Nice.
And then Versailles beats. I'll probably butcher this name, so. Bergerac Perigord.
Oh man, at 5-4 in PKs, huh?
Versailles. Gotta like that.
Yeah.
They don't have anything on ESPN for Bergerac Perigord in the last.
Oh, they're terrible. Their information sometimes is terrible. They don't even have like what leagues they're in sometimes. If it's not like a. Tomorrow is Nantes and Bastia.
Nice.
So the Coupe de France is moving on. They're quarterfinals. The Copa Italia, these are quarterfinal games heading to the semis. The Copa del Rey, those I believe are semis. So this is tomorrow's. That's to go to the finals between Athletic Club and Valencia. Valencia, Yunus Musa. We should maybe possibly see him playing tomorrow as well.
He should be in the lineup. I thought he had a good showing with the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah. He had his first goal for Valencia right before that as well. So.
Yeah, it's one of those where you need a little confidence booster. You just need to see that ball go in the back of the net. Sometimes can be like all the difference in the world as far as getting that confidence going, and maybe we'll see some more goals going forward. But
so I guess as U.S. fans, we got to root for Valencia to move on. That one.
It'll only help.
How about in the Dutch league? The Go Ahead Eagles play tomorrow.
Go Ahead Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, like bro, some of these names, I love it. I love the names in this sport. You're like, who sat down and they came up with the Go Ahead Eagles?
They probably thought about it for a long time.
They're sitting 13th in the Everdice. I'm sure it has some kind of meaning.
Oh, sure. There's never not going to be a meaning of some sort, It's everything's got meaning behind it.
If you're up at 3:45 a.m. and you want to watch some Australian League, the Coastal Coast Mariners or Central Coast Mariners are playing MacArthur FC. And surprisingly, I watch way more Australian League than I should because I wake up super early and I usually catch second halves of those games while I'm having my morning coffee.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Actually, there was Ajax did play today, and of course, the forgotten one, Sebastian Haller, continues his run of great form, and he got another 2 goals today.
Nice.
Amsterdam, Ajax's thrashing of Vitesse Arnhem 5-0.
Nice. So he's just, he just has really taken it.
He's thriving in.
He moves out of France and goes to the Ivory Coast. He moves out of the Premier League, goes over to the Dutch league, and he's happy. He seems happy, and he's playing his game. See, a lot of people don't realize too, man. I guess is like when you get to the Premier League, it's just like any sport. It's like you've made it to the Mecca. When you get to some of these La Ligas and all them, you made it to the Mecca to where it's like super amount of pressure on you now. And when you don't have that performance or you have that early success like he had and then it falls off, that's even worse sometimes because then people are expecting it. Right. And you don't ever have a chance to like not be working at the highest level. And he got ridden pretty hard when he kind of cooled off there. So he's probably, for him, it's probably nice. Not that there's not huge expectations at Ajax, but a little bit different competition as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's big expectations when he got brought to the Prem, and he just didn't have the best time. And then, moves away, goes to Ajax, and just scoring goals at will for Ajax and leading them to they won their group in Champions League.
Yeah.
So good for him, though.
Speaking of, I know we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Champions League is right around the corner as well.
Yes.
So it feels like that's been a bit of a layoff. I know some people probably aren't even aware of some of the matchups, but that comes right back on Tuesday, the 15th. PSG, Madrid, Sporting CP, and City. So that starts us off. Wednesday, you got Salzburg and Bayern. And then you got Inter and Liverpool. So that gets us started. And then there's a whole lot more coming after that. So
yeah, I mean, the big dog, I guess, PSG and Madrid. Messi, Neymar, the boys taking on a Real Madrid team. That should be good.
Yeah.
That I'm excited for. The Sporting City, I know Sporting had a really good Champions League group stage, but, City going to be City, and I'm sure going to have their way with the Portuguese club.
I kind of expect the same, not just being a Bayern stan, but in the Bayern Salzburg
I was just getting
matchup.
to that, yeah. I think Salzburg is a
little overmatched.
I think so, yeah. I think they're going to be a little in over their head, pretty much. So,
yeah.
It's again, it's their first time. What was it? First time an Austrian team has made it, or the first time Salzburg has made it out of the group stage? One of those two.
Yeah.
So this is uncharted territory, and to draw a Bayern, which is probably one of the favorites to win the whole thing. That's tough. But again, you could see Aronson. I don't know. What's the update on Davies? Is the heart condition thing? Is he going to be out for a while, or what? I haven't heard much about that.
I have no idea. No idea. They have not talked much about it. I feel like he's for now. It seems like for the foreseeable future, at least, they don't seem to be rushing him back. So
right. Yeah, I mean it's and then I guess you got Chelsea and Lille, which is again I think intriguing when you talk about Lille. Timmy Weah, our own wonderful Timmy Weah, going up against him and Jonathan David, which, by the way, Jonathan David is the best player in CONCACAF, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty incredible right now.
That man is he's a problem.
I just picked up Jonathan David card this week in my NFT thing too. It was my free card for the week because I had a good week and I finished and I got a star card.
Got a good week.
So now I finished in the top 10% out of the 97,000 people, and my star card was Jonathan David. So I was kind of excited.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
I would like For some reason, I feel like he's going to go to Bayern or something.
Probably.
I just have this
Alfonso will recruit him
sneaky
when
suspicion.
Lev finally does leave. But
Or
speaking
maybe Arsenal will get him.
speaking of like Bayern and real quick and guys that are just like guys that are playing incredible, and it's a little under the radar, I guess, just because it is Bayern. But like what Thomas Mueller is doing at this stage in his career is just I mean it's absolutely insane, dude. 21 games, he has 16 assists. Like and the guy is
He's been doing it forever.
yeah, he's 32 years old now. He's turning 33 coming up into later into this season. And he just makes it look easy, and to see that continuing to where a couple years ago he had a few injuries, and you thought maybe, oh man, this is kind of it, especially footballers, like 28, 29, you get a few knocks and people start to forget about you. The next young thing's coming along, and he's continued to just stay in the game and fight, and he's having an incredible season this year, setting up Lev and Serge and all those guys. Plus, he's got 7 goals, so.
Yeah, it's just, I think, year in and year out, he's proven why he's going to go down, as one of the better footballers, in German history. And I thought he was a lot older than he is. 32 only.
Yeah, he's got old face. He looks like he's 40. Yeah, he's not taking in. Yeah, I'm sure his off-season regimens aren't like Tom Brady's. It's probably Wiener Schnitzels and beers all off season.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that diet.
Nothing at all. So, and then who else you got? You got Villarreal Juventus. They're the other game the following Tuesday on the 22nd. That's again a matchup of the two Americans if they get playing time, Musa and McKinney. So that could be pretty cool. If they're, I mean, McKinney's getting playing time. It's more if Musa's getting the minutes. At that point.
Oh, that's Villarreal, not Valencia, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Valencia. Yep, Villarreal. So
yeah.
My boy Unai. Never mind.
That's not going to be an easy battle though for Juve.
No, it's not.
You've seen the success Villarreal and Unai had last season.
Yeah,
getting that Europa League belt, but. Again, it's a Juve squad that's, they got their guys. They made some moves in the transfer window, letting go Bentancur and, Lord Walker's boy Kulusevski. And Dybala continues not to even play because there's always somebody in front of him, maybe move to a different position, not center forward,
Yeah, you would think so.
Behind the best player in the world, or you just don't play because, Chiesa is there. But hey,
maybe he doesn't care. I mean, it's not like he's not getting a nice big paycheck and he just gets to show up and practice all the time. So
he's got a cool celebration, and that's it.
And then who rounds it out? We got Atletico Madrid and United. So again, United
very intriguing.
Still has some stuff to play for. They could right this ship and get things going and keep Cristiano happy and Pogba happy, but I doubt it. And then we got Benfica and Ajax, the aforementioned Ajax. So it's a good matchup for Ajax. Good draw for them.
Yeah, again, I don't know. I mean, the way Ajax went through that group stage, disposing of Dortmund, which that happens, giving up 5 or so goals at a time, but
yeah, I mean they went perfect through the group, so
yeah, they have Dusan Tadic. I saw he's scored again today, so it's there's some familiar faces on that Ajax team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, again, there's always just so much going on. With Champions League coming up. We got the World Cup stuff behind us for right now. That'll be put on the back burner for the next pretty much 2 months. So just focusing on, League Cup at the end of the month, Champions League in full force. Obviously, all the leagues are getting rocking and rolling here as well. So
MLS coming back.
MLS will be back in 3 weeks' time somehow. I'm not even ready. I'm not prepared mentally. I'm still kind of scarred from the way last season ended for the Union, but guess I got to put that behind me quick because the season won't stop because all of Philadelphia Union fan base is pity partying.
So apparently the latest thing I just saw pop up is the latest news is some United players have gotten together and have expressed their desire for Poch and for United to draw Poch away from PSG and bring him in. So United, and they, not that PSG doesn't have an unlimited pocketbook, but they're also PSG, and they're probably like, whatever, we'll just get another coach. We have Messi and Mbappe, and we don't. Coach really doesn't matter too much. It's Poch isn't necessarily driving that ship at PSG so much as
they could get whoever, like you said, they could get me and you in there to coach, and I'm sure they'd get the same results. They got knocked out of the French Cup, so
yeah. So
I think Poch knows he might be his time might be cut short. So
yeah.
I don't know, United, get a coach. Get a real coach in there.
Yeah. Actually, don't. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
So, yellow card, red card.
I find this very funny. I know for some reason cats have been in the soccer news recently. One is, it's not funny at all, but Kurt Zuma situation, if you didn't know, apparently there was a video that surfaced of him like kicking his cat and laughing about it almost. So the former Chelsea lad is they took the cats away, update, and West Ham fined him like $300,000. And I saw there was more cat news that during the Wigan, I forget the other team, but apparently a cat just ran on the pitch and started like fucking with the one player. So I don't know. Cats have been in the news for soccer for like weird off-field altercation.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole Zuma thing's just weird. Like, I don't know if he was taking his frustrations out for almost losing that game to a Sunday league team, basically, to where he makes more in 1 month than Kidderminster's entire roster is paid for an entire season. He gets in a check in 1 month. But it's a terrible look, especially like, I mean, it's kind of crazy though, like with video and the fact that what Michael Vick went through for dogfighting and to spend a year in prison. And this dude, there's video of this dude just like lacing these cats. Like, you sure it's not the first time he's done it either? So yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's probably still getting off easy because the money's nothing. He makes that in a week. Or in a month or whatever. I guess it's good that they saved the cats. So he's definitely.
Cats are safe. The cats are out of there.
Yeah, Zuma's on notice though.
He's definitely on notice.
Yeah, don't let him house sit you or animal sit while you go on vacation if you're a teammate of Kurt Zuma. Yeah. A story that real quick that's not a yellow or red card. I know sometimes we always add a little something at the end. I noticed was pretty cool. Senegal players, for those who didn't see it, part of their prize, when you win something, you generally get paid for it, like the Super Bowl or things like that. You get a bonus. They were gifted just land. Like Senegal was like, here, you each get this amount of land for winning
that's
us.
So cool.
Yeah, like that's how it should be, man. Like here's 30 acres. Yeah, like
sick.
Yeah.
I mean, those celebrations down there looked pretty awesome.
And I mean, you got to remember,
it means a lot to those countries.
not every guy riding on that bus is Sadio Mane and making the money that he makes, So
Big deal.
For some of those guys, it's monstrous. So that was
huge deals. So,
that was good, and apparently Klopp came out and said that Salah's still struggling with the loss. So
I bet he is.
Boo-hoo.
He got beat by your fellow Red.
Yeah, and apparently those two always seem to not necessarily be the best of friends. They just coexist. So
they got to, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's I didn't really have any red cards. It was more just putting, cats on notice.
Yeah. Adam's taking the cats back. Adam's taking Zuma's back. I'm taking the cats back. So.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Those Chelsea lads always stick together.
They have to.
Yeah, man. So
have to do it. But yes.
All right,
everybody. We appreciate you guys tuning in again. So much to talk about in this beautiful game. We appreciate you guys. Through all of our craziness of schedule changes and the schedule, COVID and everything, it's good to have, space to talk about the game, and appreciate everybody that always chats in every week. It's what keeps us going. So again, Thank you, Tim, Lord Walker, of course, for checking in. As always, Pove, good to see him. Daniel, good to see you. Obviously, our good friend Dan, our Canadian correspondent.
Jamie Lee from across the pond, joining us again this week.
Absolutely. So. Jakey and Chuckser. You can catch those guys doing shows here on A2D Radio, Birds with a Feather, and Friday nights. Jake has a great show. So it's that time of day.
Yeah, man.
Love you guys. Thank you again. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 4:30. Got a little Champions League talk. Got a little Prem talk. And, of course, we'll throw a little knowledge at you with the MLS. So come prepared, write some notes, and we'll see you Wednesday. Later, guys.